if you look around, it's the language of Ahab. And just recently I heard about quantum. I really don't know much about it, but someone said that's another future is coming. And those that owns the future are the ones that predict and create the world of the future that they desire. The world we live in today, or the world we were born in, no longer exists. And the one we live in now, it's a new world entirely that requires a new approach, a new learnings, a new way of thinking, and a new way of doing things. Meaning, you have to ensure that for you not to be left behind, you must build your personal development muscles. Personal development should never be a second choice, should never be in the first place a choice. To play the game of relevance, you must build your personal development muscles. There is this popular saying that you can't give what you don't have, and you can't pour from an empty cup. On the journey of personal development, it is an unending encounter. You only grow to the degree of what you acquire. You only give to the degree of what you have. Hi, welcome once again to Growing into Funke, a series of podcasts where we learn about how we can become a better version of ourselves. And today I want to talk about the power of personal development. There is this popular saying that you can't give what you don't have, and you can't pour from an empty cup. I remember reading or listening to a podcast by John Maxwell, and he said one of the greatest advice his dad gave him was that on his journey of growth, he should always ensure that he fills his well with water, so that every time he or others want to draw from that water, there's always water to draw. And I think that is so profound, because on the journey of personal development, it is an unending or never-ending encounter. And I believe that you only grow to the degree of what you acquire. You only give to the degree of what you have. Hence why personal development should never be a second choice, should never be in the first place a choice. It should be what every single one who wants to become better or becomes a better version of who they are embarks on. I believe that the greatest return one can ever have is the return of an investment spent on themselves. The moment we are able, or you're able to invest in your growth, in your mind, in your intellect, in your skills, what you would see happening is that you will begin to experience increase, expansion, opportunities, right? And you will begin to grow in your ability and capability. And that is the power of personal development. Why is it really important? It is important, number one, because the world is changing so quick. There is this saying that the world we live in today, or the world we were born in, no longer exists. And the one we live in now, it's a new world entirely that requires a new approach, a new learnings, a new way of thinking, and a new way of doing things. Meaning, you have to ensure that for you not to be left behind, you must attain speed, and you must gain same side correlation with what the world is evolving, or the language that the world is speaking today. And if you look around, it's the language of Ahab. And just recently I heard about quantum. I really don't know much about it, but someone said that's another future is coming. And those that owns the future are the ones that predict and create the world of the future that they desire. Now, another reason why personal development is really important is to play the game of relevance. You must build your personal development muscles. What you know before might not be able to lead you to where you're going. Hence why it is key and important that you must daily improve yourself. Do you see? When it comes to relevance in the world or relevance in your sphere of influence or your circle of influence or within your career or within your community, it is important and it is only those who are continuously key into adding value to people's life that tend to remain in the game of relevance. Hence why you have to ensure that you continually develop yourself, you continually invest in yourself, you continually build yourself so that you remain in the game of relevance. Number 3 of why personal development is really important is actually for yourself. Personal development helps you to build confidence. There is some sort of audacity that you carry when you have mastered a piece, a skill, a competencies. Have you noticed that you go through a particular course and you have come out very equipped? There's the way you talk when you're brought into the matter of those things. Those are the people we call subject expert matter, right? People that have gained mastery over a particular area of course, and so they build that confidence and they know what they're saying and they say it with audacity. That is what personal development does. It helps you to build the self-confidence that you require in your spheres to be able to stand and speak when others are speaking. And outside of that, other things that self-development does is that it helps you to uncover the true unique wiring. When you engage in some personal development books, you begin to realize and lay print on the path that you've been treading. There becomes a variety of light bubbling moments that ignite you to what you did in the past, moment that ignite you to why you're doing what you do, moment that expose you to the reason behind what you've been doing. It is so amazing. That is why, outside of the benefits of what personal development brings to others through you, it is even much more beneficial to what it brings to you, because it helps you to get self-concept. It gives you a new perspective, right, to how you see yourself, and it builds your confidence and audacity to being able to sit at the table where noble people sit, because you have something to give, right? Now, how do I build or how do I empower myself personally? How do I even develop myself? How do I ensure that I remain in the consistent path of self-development? The first thing I would say to you definitely is books. The power of books. You must read books. You must encourage yourself in reading books, because the more books you read, especially about personal development, the more your mind is open, the more you could see yourself better, the more you could see things differently. You become so equipped with insights, with great initiatives, great innovations, great inventions begin to flow out of you by just engaging with books. Number 2 is you must build around people that encourage growth. This is so profound. The most powerful gatherings or associations are the ones that consistently push each other up, are the ones that consistently pull each other up, are the ones that consistently makes you feel uncomfortable because you are not meeting the target. If you want to really grow, and it's a mistake to feel that you are in a space where you're the only one that is right at the top in the level of growth, like everyone else look up to you. That's another big mistake. You might see that as, maybe a space for me to become a role model, which is great. Yes, we want to be a role model to some people, but we also want to have people in our association or in our networks that we look up to, that are consistently pulling us, that are telling us, no, you can do better. That is more to who you can become. You must find yourself in that space, and you must consistently, intentionally engage in that kind of environment, because your environment truly has a great impact in how you build and equip yourself on the journey of personal development. It's very powerful, right? So your circle of influence? Who are those that are inside of your networks? Who are those that you commune with? What did they bring to you? Did they challenge you, or did they knock off your goals and vision? Did they tell you this is too big for you? Stop daydreaming. You can't achieve it in this world of impossibilities. Is that what you get all the time? Then you must remove yourself from that society or from that association and plant yourself in the places where nothing is impossible for you to build. So the first is, what would you do in this instance? You have to evaluate and audit your relationship. You go back to the drawing board. Who are those in your inner circle? Who are those in your sphere of influence? How are they influencing you? How have they made you better in the journey where you've been together? What has changed? What has transformed? What has transpired? What have you done that has signified or that signifies as growth? Right? You have to evaluate that. Right? Another thing you could do in terms of how to build personal development is to identify mentors and coaches that have walked the path, that have become the version of you that you desire, and follow their blueprints. You can follow them through their books. You can follow them by listening to their podcast. You can follow them by, having a one-to-one mentorship or coaching with them. These are ways you can gain and glean from these people, because success is predictable. It's a pattern that they have followed. If you follow that same pattern and do exactly what it did, you will get the same exact result that it gets. So that is also ways of how you can build your muscles of personal development. Another thing you would also want to do is to improve on your self-efficacy. Now, what do I mean by that? Is the ability to lead yourself when you're led by. When you have an intrinsic motivation from the inside of you. You don't wait for the situation to be right. You just move. You just continually, build. You just continually do. Because what we tend to see is that we gain much more in terms of confidence around our growth when we do and we see a result. Have you noticed it? You embark on a project and you execute it. There is this kind of self-confidence that you have built, that just make you feel like, what, if I've done this, I can do much more. Did you see? So you have to ensure that you are intentionally striking, you are intentionally, building your self-efficacy muscle. You are making sure that you're doing things not because you feel like, but because you have to. Remember, decisions determine destiny, right? Decision determines destiny. Every decision you are making is building the muscles of the destiny you desire. Is building the path for the destiny you desire. So you have to ensure that it is not just acquiring those things, but also putting them to practice. Because the more you do it, the more you gain self-efficacy, the more you gain self-confidence, the more you gain clarity, the more you gain visibility, the more you're able to do more and be more. And I hope these have been helpful to somebody. Now tell me, what practical step are you taking today to ensure that you build the muscle of your personal development so that you remain in the game of relevance? And I will see you again.